Welcome back to DBL. Thanks to Kate Winslet, the conversation about gay actors playing straight roles is trending. Kate told the Sunday Times she knows at least 4 well-known actors who are not public about their sexuality. She claims their worry is that they will not be considered for straight roles. Kate also thinks this applies more to men in Hollywood than women. Wow. Erica, what do you think of actors hiding their sexuality? And should gay actors be able to play straight roles? Obviously they should, but what do you make of that?
Yeah, we've had this conversation, and I think it's more complex than where we're really going with it, because I think at the genesis of it, it's the idea that these roles that were specifically made for majority actors, let's say, are now. So it's basically like the need of the roles versus who wants to go for the roles. So if you're a straight actor and you're trying to go for a role, there's a million straight acting roles you can go for. But if you're a gay actor and you're going for a straight role, there is this like pressure against you. But then when you get like I was going to say something else, but when you, I've had this conversation with 3 different people, but then when you get a gay role, then it goes to a straight actor, and it's like, okay, well, you had a million different roles that you could have gone for, but now you're going to go for the only role out of like 5 out of a million that I could have gone for. So I can understand the frustration behind it, is basically what I'm saying.
I just think it's kind of ironic, because when I see Hollywood, I see very progressive, very liberal, and then you bring up this conversation, so it's kind of weird to have this. I'm all for everybody playing whatever role they are, because it's all about numbers at the box office. People don't know, but you have to invest $50 million if you're going to make a $100 million movie per se, right? So you need someone that can carry that weight to get you those ticket sales. But then we just talked to Marlee Matlin, and she's like, well, how is she supposed to play another role because she can't speak and she's deaf? So it's like, now I'm like torn, because we just talked to her and I understand where she's coming from, but I think the best actor for the role. So it is a complex conversation.
It is a complex conversation, and to your point, you did mention something that stood out to me. You mentioned how like inclusive Hollywood is. No matter how inclusive Hollywood is, they still have to abide to the rest of America, because you talked about that number.
The rest of the world.
The rest of the world. And it's a shame, so they might be scared, or maybe they're going off of actual data where they feel like that if we found out that Tom Cruise, and this is just me saying this, I'm not alleging anything, but if we found out that Tom Cruise is not straight, would they be fearful that most Americans, or certain Americans, would not go to the box office to see him play in Mission Impossible 3? And I would hope so. But
he's on like 8 now, by the way.
Oh. Mission Impossible 10.
I'll say the same. Obviously this country has a long way to go in terms of how we view homosexuality, but we've come a long way, baby. Like Virginia Slim, I'm very proud of the progress. We have a long way to go. But the rest of the world, that is still a no-go. So if you're trying to sell movies across the world, which is how you make your money, and there are certain regions of the world where that's like that actor will not be shown, it's something to think about as an investor, and that's what causes the pushback, unfortunately.
But I think that
not saying it's right.
But of course, but I think that they may be pleasantly surprised, just like they saw with Crazy Rich Asians, just like they saw with a number of different big blockbuster films that have broken through, that a lot of people did not think would turn out money at the box office.